Hi friends, welcome back. So banks are burning, Tesla's crashing, and memes are roaring. That is the subject of today's video, and I always appreciate coming back for more. If you guys haven't seen this, this is PP coin, and I guess it is chasing Doge for the top meme coin. And the reason why I'm opening this is that these things have been going crazy in the last 24 hours. I frankly thought it was over, but I guess not. This shows you what I know. And this is all comes at a time when NYCB is facing more credit downgrades. Essentially, this thing is not looking so great. So if you've been following this bank stuff, we've had a meltdown in commercial real estate, and then you had essentially fears that it could get worse. In their last earnings report, they said, hey, we're setting a bunch of money aside that is to make sure that we're going to be okay in case more people aren't paying back their loans and yet more crashing. But there's now concerns that essentially more people aren't going to be paying, and it's just going to be snowballing, right? So if Joe doesn't pay Fred, and Fred doesn't pay Sally, and Sally doesn't pay Stan, then suddenly Stan's out of luck going, yo, what's going on? Where's my money? And this is kind of a theme of what's been happening in the market is essentially we're having a cooling off. Moreover, with this theme of cooling off, and people are actually falling down over Tesla and selling off. You can see here Tesla skids, shares skid after China sales fell in February. I believe it's double digit Tesla sales compared to last year. It's like 19% or something in that range. Yes, it is true that the Chinese went on New Year. We went on New Year holiday as well here in Korea. That's a Lunar New Year. But still, it is not a good sign because you're still comparing it to last year, which is down. So not so good. And I understand the Tesla boys and girls fanboys and girls will be crying and stuff like that. But my advice to you is if you're a Tesla holder, consider meme coins. You can get all of your gains back very quickly, and you can forget about what happened before. So you can see meme coins continue to surge as dog with hat rises 360%. Smog pumps 78%, and we got to take a look at these things in a moment here, but it's crazy. I'm not really into this myself, but I can read numbers, and the numbers are all going up for these things. We compare it to the market. Yeah, it seems really boring, right? I mean, you could be in Google or Apple, you're going to lose a couple percent. Maybe you could be in Tesla down, 6.5%, something like that. But if you're in the meme coins, up 360% is obviously a lot more exciting. And then, when you try to tell kids, hey, bond yields are 2 years for 4.61 or 10 years for 4.22. It's just not fun. So this is sort of why we're talking about this stuff today, because it actually really revolves around Bitcoin. You guys can see here, it's up like 7% right now. This is live as of recording, 67,632. So for those of you who are on Bitcoin, this is your right to say, I told you so. You can trash all the haters and be happy. And essentially, I guess we're all buying Bitcoin now. So the question is, though, where do we think this is going to go? So this is my understanding that we're right there at the all-time highs. At least according to the chart here, it says 64, but I think, though, it reached like 67, 68,000, like briefly. But basically, we're right there right now. So I'm actually really curious where we're going to go from here. And the reason why I'm bringing up the Bitcoin stuff is, or the meme coin, I should say, I was looking at this. So I rarely bring this stuff up on the channel, but I can read numbers. So Shiba Inu is up 235% in the last, I guess this is week. In one day, 46%. Like, what is going on? I guess we need to realize that there is money in this stuff. Floki, whatever that is, that's up, 0.3% today, but last week, 281%. Dog with hat, yes, that is an actual coin, and it is a Shiba Inu dog with a hat. I don't know why Shibas are the most popular. Bonk is a Shiba as well. Baby Dogecoin is also a Shiba. And get this, if you're a Trump fan, this is a real coin. It's called MAGA, MAGA. And essentially, that is your Trump tracker coin. And then the last 7 days, it's up 100%. So again, I guess we're all buying this stuff. I have no idea. All right, Doge de Lamar's is also up 100%. So, this kind of stuff, to me, it feels like we're at the top. But, that's just me. When I see these kind of memes going out and people bragging about their gains with these PP coin, and these are all the memes, Like it says here, make PP great again. PP, the most memorable meme coin in existence. Like, we all know it's a joke, right? But yet it's true. You can make money with the joke. Just don't be the last one, holding this thing. Essentially, it's a game of musical chairs. So I did have to bring that up. But let's go back to the regular stuff. I know it's not as fun to talk about the meme coins, but there is other stuff going on in the market. This was actually a really interesting story. Check this out. Banks stuck with X debt held refinancing talks with Elon Musk. So if you don't know, he had to borrow a whole bunch of money to buy Twitter. And we've talked about this before, how essentially what's going on is that they want their money back, of course, and they're nervous that he can't pay. Now, what's really interesting about this whole story is the bank that is leading the sort of charge to restructure this debt and make sure we get some sort of pay is Morgan Stanley. And essentially, also too, if you've been tracking this, they have the highest buy target compared to everyone else in the street. So basically, they're trying to sell you Tesla stock and say, hey, everyone, please buy Tesla. Please buy Tesla. We need Elon Musk to pay us back. We'll read through the details of this thing because you got to check it out. It is actually crazy. It says here, a bank group spearheaded by Morgan Stanley. Again, they're the ones who are giving the highest price target on Tesla, right? It's no coincidence. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, is basically they're trying to convince you that Tesla's going to go up like 80% next year. And if they can convince you that, you'll buy it, so then they can then have Elon sell it, so then Elon can pay them back. I mean, that's the whole gist of it here. You can see here it says Morgan Stanley held discussions with Elon Musk and his team about refinancing roughly $12.5 billion debt package. So we're talking about real money here, guys. $12 billion is a lot of money. The support of the tech billionaires take private of social media platform X, according to people of knowledge of the matter. In talks that faltered earlier this year, certain banks and Musk team explored options to strengthen the debt package. So they're trying to do something, right? And then it says here, said the people who asked not to be identified discussing confidential talks, right? So this is all private stuff. But, when you talk about this much money, word does get out. And also, too, they could be leaking it on purpose just to, how can I say, maybe express frustration, or maybe they're trying to, ease the tension of what people, are worried about, whether or not, this whole thing's going to melt down. Because there's tons of money in this stuff, guys. $12.5 billion is not small money. It says here, the parties discuss options that could reduce the cost of the debt and make it less risky for banks to hold, one of the people said. And then here's some more of this. It says a group of 7 banks led by the New York-based lender has been stuck holding the debt since 2022. Stuck holding, not great. They repeatedly renewed an agreement not to individually offload their holdings. So it's kind of funny when they say this is it's like all these banks are kind of in a coalition together, but it's like, who's going to blink first, or is there going to be some sort of margin call kind of situation where one of these particular things are the institutions are forced to sell off the debt, right, to balance the books? We'll see, but evidently right now they're in coalition to try to support Elon. I guess. I mean, I'm sure behind closed doors they're not too thrilled about this. I wouldn't be. It says here, with the goal of coordinating a sale when X, formerly known as Twitter, is on firmer financial footing with stable advertising revenues, subscription growth, and further traction from a planned peer-to-peer payments platform, one of the people said. I wonder if they're going to do this. There's been talk for a while that Elon's been trying to, do like the WhatsApp Venmo kind of stuff and get involved in payments. Yes, there's real money in this stuff, but could it work? Who knows? My particular point of view is good luck. It's a fight to try to get in this space. There's a lot of players in this game. Now, one thing that's really interesting, though, is that evidently a related company to Tesla / Elon / Twitter is trying to sell you $300,000 flying car. So if you wonder where your money is going when you buy said car, maybe it's going to go back to, raise the Tesla stock. Maybe it's to help for pay of Elon's 10 kids. Maybe it's to pay back, the debt to Morgan Stanley. Who knows? But evidently some people are all about this. They got about 2,800 orders on this thing. It's $300,000. And this is what it looks like. And again, this is kind of like bubbly stuff to me. That's just my opinion. I look at this thing and one, it's ugly. If you guys think it looks cool, please let me know. But I'm kind of thinking ugly. That's just sort of, I'm thinking that. And not so great. Moreover, this is the founder / CEO person. He's trying to sell you the flying car. And the funny thing about this car is I wouldn't have guessed it. it flies sideways. So it basically will sit on the, in your driveway like a regular car, but then when you actually want to fly your flying car, it flies sideways. So, I mean, like when I just look at the design, I'm just like, who really believes this stuff? But, people say, oh, Chris, you're just a hater. You just don't like flying cars. Okay, guys, whatever. This is another headline today is NVIDIA's surge stokes talk of a bubble. And it's actually interesting because that's been one of the stocks been doing really, really well. Actually, we'll check in on it here. Let's jump over there. I was looking at this. So there's your Bitcoin going up like crazy. Here's your NVIDIA. And we're checking on it live. One of the few stocks that is still in the green here. So it's up 3.6% on the day and up 261% on the year. You guys can see that for yourself. And you compare that to something like a Tesla. Finished down 7% and even more in the after hours. And then on the year, kind of flat. But the Tesla one is like, if you look at the all-time high here, it is down quite a bit, about 53%. And, I'm bringing this stuff up because most of these stocks are actually facing some headwind today. So Apple is another one, which we'll talk about in a moment here. They are down. Let's see. They're up 13% on the past year, but they were down about 2.5% on the day. They got a problem with the. Actually, I'll pull it up here with the fine. They had an issue with whether or not they're running like a monopoly kind of thing in the EU. It's regarding their music app. The basic gist of it is that the EU is saying, hey, Apple, you didn't disclose or make it easier for people to understand that you could buy music cheaper from like another service, say Spotify. So Spotify was complaining that sort of the game is rigged on the App Store. And I'm actually really surprised, if really frank, if or why hasn't the EU, cracked down on Twitter for any number of things, be it privacy concerns, be you're out of compliance with sort of your news or / fake news kind of stuff. There's a whole bunch of issues that you could deal with that, or your bullying policy, etc. I mean, you're cracking down on Apple for essentially monopoly kind of things. And the other issue, which I was thinking as well, is over in the EU, maybe they have connections with certain banks that hold Elon Musk's debt, so they don't want to knock the stock off too much. Moreover, this is the other thing that's going on as well, is the JetBlue merger is, I guess, been called off with Spirit. The government is kind of nervous about that. That would hurt the consumer. We've actually seen another one with this was they're looking into the Kroger acquisition of Albertsons, so that may be called off as well. These are the things that are going on in the market, and moreover, we're going to see also more layoffs. Bain is what does it say? They're buying out their UK staff. So if you're in the consulting world, so this represents kind of the business activity. I believe McKinsey is pulling back as well, Bain and all of the consulting firms, because essentially what happens is that when companies have extra money, they start looking to like doing research, going into markets. How can we restructure? How can we make more money? Etc. And this just overall represents kind of your overall business activity. Companies generally don't necessarily have to hire these firms. Sometimes the idea, though, is it's cheaper to hire, or I don't know, cheaper is the right word, just the more cool to hire outside consultants to come in opposed to using in-house. And essentially the joke on these kind of things is they come in, they make fancy PowerPoints, wear nice suits, and tell you what you already know. One of the things that is also in the news, which I'll mention it, so the Supreme Court ruled in favor of Trump. They're going to keep him on the ballot. And there's a key thing here, which I think is an important one, which I was reading here. So this is regarding the 14th Amendment. My personal opinion on this stuff, I mean, he led the January 6th insurrection against the Capitol and tried to overthrow the election. I mean, I just think that's crazy talk that this guy's even, being considered by voters. But hey, people vote whoever they want. Supreme Court is backing Trump to say stay on the ballot. But there's a thing that I just really want to point out here. It says right here, where is it here? In an unsigned 13-page opinion, the court said the Congress has exclusive power to enforce the provision. And so this is the kind of thing that stood out to me, that it was unsigned. So if you are going to, vote / rule in favor of, keeping Trump on the ballot, at least put your name down so that that's in history of who did this. I don't think that's a crazy thing to say. Have some courage there. So I think this is a bit of cowardness but by members of the Supreme Court who voted or I should say ruled in favor of Trump, unsigned court opinion. So he's going to be on the ballot, and looks like we're heading for that rematch. Haley did win in DC, but she'll probably get blown out in Super Tuesday. At least what it looks like. You never know. We'll find out. People do got to go to the polls, and we'll see what happens. But he's been doing well in terms of polling, but not so well in terms of his finances. So we'll see how this thing goes. And evidently, we talked before on the channel, there's a GoFundMe to keep Trump afloat that's launched by the Cardones. So that's the stuff going on. And, maybe the Cardones are buying PP coins to keep up with this stuff. So I do appreciate your time, everyone, and stay safe out there, and I'll catch you next video.